Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power and Science of Money podcast, brought to you by your man King Freeze. Man, my eyes are so red. I promise it's because I just woke up. Yeah, that's why. No, yeah, for real, I just woke up. Anyway, check this out. Last time we talked about money inflation. If you want to know more about money inflation, check the last episode. But today we're going to be talking about how can you beat inflation, because what happens if the money market is in, or the money supply is inflating and your money in your bank is not inflating? What happens is that you get left behind. So you want to take your money out the bank. Yep, you heard me right. Take your money out the bank. The only money that you should have in the bank is whatever you're using for emergencies. Some people do 3 months emergency, six, a year. Some people might do more. I don't know. But that's the only money that you want to have in the bank. You want to have that so you can immediately access it in case you have an emergency. But other than that, your money that you earn after you paid all your debt off and you have no other obligations, you should be investing via 401k, IRAs, mutual funds, or other taxable, maybe even taxable accounts, like a brokerage account or something like that. But your goal is to be growing at a quicker pace, or at pace at the bare minimum of the money supply growth. So if the money supply in America is growing by 10% a year, you want to be at least growing by 10% or more, because we're overachievers. So we want to make sure that we are looking at mutual funds, stocks, or other investments that we believe will grow at that pace or quicker. What does that do? That prepares us to have a nice little nest egg at the very end of the road. And on top of that, you're not going to be pulling any interest that you earned. You're going to leave that in there so that it keeps rolling over and interest keeps building on top of interest. That's called compound interest. We want to keep compounding, stacking on top of that. And then we're going to interject even some more compounding by adding additional funds on top of that weekly, monthly, or whatever schedule that fits your budget. And by doing that, by the end of 2015 or whenever it is that you're going to retire in the future, you will have such a pile up of cash that you will be able to live rather comfortably. And even then, you don't pull your money out, you leave it there, and you only pull out what you need. And that's when pre-tax and post-tax really comes in handy. I'm going to talk about that more next week, but give you a slight little, we're going to slide over just a little bit. So pre-tax will be something like your 401k. That's money that the government can't tax until later, because they're taking that money before it even hits your check. They're taking that money and they're putting it into investments, and it earns interest over time, and you don't pay any taxes on it until you withdraw it when you retire. Now there's post-tax investments as well. There's IRA. If you qualify for that, you can put up $6,000 a year per person. If you're married, that's, husband and wife, 6,000. So a couple can put $12,000 a year in IRAs. And that is called post-tax, because you invest this money with money that you've already earned. So the government takes the pre-tax and they put it in your 401k, right? Or your company takes your pre-tax and put it in your 401k. Now they pay you with what's left over after other deductions, right? So you pay your bills, you do everything else that you want to do, and then you say, hey, I have a little bit of extra money. I'm going to put this into my IRA. So you take that money, you put it into your IRA. Now that's post-tax. The government will not tax you on any of that money when you retire. And you could you could pull out the principal anytime that you want to. So if you put $6,000 in and it gains some interest, and then later you want to say, hey, I need that $6,000, you can technically pull out that $6,000 because that's the principal, and they won't tax you on it twice. But they will tax you on the interest if you try to pull that IRA out early. You'll get penalized for that. But here's the sweet thing about it. We're not going to pull our IRA at all. You're going to keep investing into your IRA, $6,000 a year, $12,000 for a couple a year, and watch that money compound and grow over the years. And then once we retire, guess what? The government doesn't tax any of that money at all. So that entire principal plus the interest At retirement, you won't get taxed on it when you withdraw it when you reach your retirement age, whatever qualifying age it is. I believe it's 60 that at that point you can pull it out. So check this out. Now what can you do? All right. So now you can pull a little bit of money from your 401k, right? Now the government's going to tax that withdrawal from the 401k because remember that's pre-tax or tax deferred. You're just kicking the can down the road. So you kick the can down the road, and then now the government's like, all right, now you withdrawing. We're going to take our cut. We want our cut, right? But far as the IRA, you can withdraw from that as well. So let's say you needed $40,000 to live a year. I'm just making up a number. So you can pull technically $20,000 from your 401k. That will be taxed at whatever marginal or average tax rate that will be. And then you can pull another 20K from your Roth IRA, and that won't be taxed at all. And what does that do? That allows you to pull out $40,000 of income, right? But you're only going to get taxed on the 20,000, which lowers your tax obligation. Right. Because had you pulled all your money, that 40,000, all from your 401k, the government will tax that entire 40,000. So you want to lower your tax obligation so that your money can, go further. Now that's the tip. I'm gonna go more into detail on that next week. But this week we're talking about compounding interest and outpacing inflation. And that's how you do it. Compound it. Find you investments, take your money out the bank, leave only an emergency in the bank to handle those small little emergencies that might pop up, like COVID-19, and you want to take the rest of that and you want to invest it in the market and grow it. Make your money grow more money. Because then you get to the point where at the end of the road, after all this compounding interest, after everything's done, you want to have such a big nest egg that you're just sitting there not worried about anything at retirement. Your money's growing on compound interest at a consistent 10% or more rate, keeping up with inflation or outpacing inflation, and you are drawing off that money either from your 401k or from your Roth IRA, which, you lowering your tax obligations, which allows your money to go further and allows you just to live the sweet life at retirement. And that's how you outpace inflation, because we're part of the system. I don't believe in the system for various reasons, because it really devalues or debases the currency that you're using. And unfortunately, this is the game that we have to play, and I'm going to teach you guys how to play it smarter. So I hope that you understand. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm here anytime that you need me. Your boy is here to help. I only have 3 followers, so if you hit me up, I can respond rather quickly. So it doesn't matter where you are at in the world. I promise I'll reach out to you guys. Now, that is my tip for today. Tune in next week, next Wednesday, where I will talk more about post-tax and pre-tax investments to help you outpace inflation and keep ahead of the game and stay ahead of the game. This is your boy, King Freeze. This is the Power and Science of Money podcast. And until next time, peace.